me, there's a PDF link here that you can click on and open the questions. Roughly, you'll have 1 minute, 9 seconds per multiple choice, and I have 10 multiple choice here for you, so we're going to knock them out, and we'll do a little annotating along the way. So here we go. Question 1. Which of the following groups of people would benefit from unanticipated inflation? Savers, borrowers, or lenders? One of the things I like to do with my kids, my students, is what do we already know before we get to multiple choice answers? So, what do we know about unanticipated inflation? It hurts those who are expecting a real rate of return on their savings and their investments. People that invest or banks that may lend are expecting a real rate of return on those savings or investments, so savers and lenders are both worse off. However, unanticipated inflation does benefit those who are borrowing loans at fixed nominal interest rates, and that's what we're looking for. Who benefits? Borrowers. So your answer choices here lead us to know B is the only appropriate response. Let's take a look at question 2. Which of the following would be true if the actual rate of inflation were less than the expected rate of inflation? We just had a similar question, but in reverse. So what do we know? If actual inflation is less than expected inflation, savers and lenders are now going to be better off, and borrowers will be worse off. Let's take a look at our answers then. A is not correct. Inflation had not been under-predicted, it was over-predicted. The real interest rate is not going to exceed the nominal interest rate when actual inflation is less than expected inflation. This is not true. The real interest rate had been negative. Maybe part D is the best answer here. People who borrowed funds at a nominal interest rate during this time period get used. In fact, that is the best answer. But let's look at D. The economy would expand because of the increased investment and spending. That's not something that will happen when the actual rate of inflation is less than expected. So D is our best answer option. On to question 3. In an economy, the price index in 2006 was 100 and the real GDP was $1,000. In 2010, the price index was 110 and the nominal GDP was $2,200. Based on that information, which of the following can be inferred about the economy's nominal GDP in 2006 and real GDP in 2010? What do we already know? First, we know the price index of 100 in 2006 indicates that we are in a base year. So, in a base year, nominal and real GDP are equal to one another. So, we know that 2006 nominal and real GDP are both $1,000. When we look at our answer choices, now we can eliminate A, C, and B. Nominal GDP in 2006 is $1,000 in both B and D. Now we need to figure out what was real GDP in 2010. In order to do that, we have to take the GDP deflator, 110, and set it equal to nominal GDP divided by real GDP times 100, which is our equation to solve for real GDP. 110 is equal to 2,200 divided by real GDP times 100. When you solve for real GDP, you get $2,000. So B is our best answer choice. When you see a problem like this, before you even look at the answer options, figure out what do you know about the content and try to solve and eliminate answer choices to get to your best option. Question 4. If a worker's nominal wage rate increases from $10 to $12 per hour, and at the same time the general price level increases by 10%, then what happens to the worker's real wage? What do we know? We know that nominal wages for workers rose from $10 to $12, which is a 20% increase in their nominal wage. We also know that the general price level rose 10%. So while nominal wages rose 20, general prices and inflation rose 10. So there's still an increase in the workers' ability to spend money and get real value back for their dollar. Real wages have to do with an individual's purchasing power. Workers have more purchasing power if their nominal wages outpace general price level increases. So we can eliminate A and B because real wage did not decrease, it rose, and we can eliminate B. So with choices C and D, you just need to be mindful that if nominal wages rose 20% and inflation rose 10%, you want to find the difference there to see that real wage rose by 10%.
Your child needs these 3 key factors to get into an Ivy League or top 25 university.
Question 5. As a measure of economic welfare, gross domestic product underestimates the country's production of goods and services when there's an increase in, well,
pues yo creo que nada. Eso sí, creo que tomó un yogur líquido de postre y yo tomé la medicación que me dio Alfonso.
¿Cómo una medicación?
Estoy con un tratamiento y tomé lo que me puso Alfonso y encima porque es que él es
we know
metódico,
that GDP is
siempre
equal to
está
3
atento,
plus
pero
5
yo
with
soy
2 plus
metódica,
10x.
caótica.
When you have several answer options, you need to figure out which one is being underestimated. A production of military goods is counted in G. G, the production of anti-pollution devices, frequently is going to be a business investment. It could also be counted under government spending if that's a priority or an initiative of the government. C, crime prevention services could be consumption or government spending. Household production. I'm not quite sure where that might fit, but legal services would fall under C, I, or D. What is household production? Well, for example, if I fix my own leaky pipes under my sink, I provided myself with a service, but I did not get paid for it, and I did not spend money on someone coming in to do that for me. So, household production is underestimated in a nation's GDP calculation. Question 6. The circular flow of economic activity between consumers and producers includes which of the following?
Se había olvidado unas bolsas, ¿no? No, una bolsa de plástico para meter los bañadores. Y cuando subía por ella, por la bolsa, la niña se empeñó que quería bajar conmigo. Vaya, otra novedad. No es otra novedad. Sí, es otra novedad. No es otra novedad. Claro que es otra novedad. No es otra novedad. Usted le dijo a la
Well, circular flow is households and firms, and they're interacting in two different markets. In the factor and resource market, households sell firms factors of production, land, labor, and capital. So that's option 2. Households sell factors of production to firms. They do not buy them. So we can eliminate option 1. In the other market, the market for goods and services, or the product market, households buy products from firms. So here, that's option 3. Households buy outputs from firms. They do not sell outputs to firms. So the two options here are 2 and 3. That means answer D is the only correct option. Now to question 7. Which of the following best explains why transfer payments are not included in the calculation of gross domestic product?
No lo sabe. Podía parecer que yo dejaba a la niña tirada o cualquier cosa, es que soy muy despistada. Mire, la niña tenía 20 y tantas pastillas de lorazepam dentro. 20 y tantas, ¿eh? Cuando su hija bajó al coche,
When we're calculating GDP, we are seeing the transfer of money for goods and services. A transfer payment itself is payment by a government that's going to not include a receipt of any type of good and service in return. So that's what we know. The definition of a transfer payment is a payment made by the government, no good or service is returned or exchanged for the payment. Looking at our answer options, there's something wrong with all of them except for one. A, transfer payments are used to pay for intermediate goods. They're not used to pay for goods. It's part of the definition of a transfer payment. Answer B, transfer payments are a government expenditure, and government expenditures are excluded from GDP. Government expenditures are not excluded from GDP. C, recipients of transfer payments have not produced or supplied goods or services in exchange for these payments. That is the definition of a transfer payment and why it is not included in GDP.
If you're a business owner, you're likely getting inundated with enticing ads to sell your company quickly and effortlessly for top.
On to question 8. During recessions caused by changes in aggregate demand, the economy typically experiences. I'm going to sketch in my margin like I would if I was taking a test. Here's my aggregate demand. I'm not labeling anything right now because it's a quick sketch during multiple choice. My horizontal axis is a measure of real GDP, also a nation's income, and the vertical axis is our price level, our CPI. I have that there because of the list of choices that we're looking at. So recessions caused by aggregate demand indicate that AD will fall, leading to a decrease in the price level and a decrease in real GDP. This also means a decrease in national income or a decrease in employment. So when we look at our answer options, income is falling, so we can eliminate A, B, and C, leaving us with D and E. We do have falling income and we have falling employment. We do not have a rising price level, so we can also eliminate D. D is our best answer. Question 9. The business cycle diagram below shows a cyclical movement of actual real GDP relative to potential GDP over the time for the region of Galactica. Potential real GDP is the straight upward sloping line that is associated with the natural rate of unemployment. The curved line is our business cycle. It's our actual ups and downs and flows of our economy, or this economy. The economy of Galactica is expanding and the actual unemployment rate exceeds the natural rate of unemployment, for which you're in the above diagram below. So where's actual unemployment higher than the natural rate? It's where this part of the business cycle is intersecting the potential real GDP. So it's going to be in the year 2002. In any other part of the business cycle, actual unemployment is less than potential real GDP and the natural rate of unemployment. Last question. Suppose that a typical consumer buys the following quantities of 3 commodities in 1993 and 1994. Which of the following can be concluded about the consumer price index for this individual from 93 to 94? So the CPI is a measure of inflation, and we see that our basket of goods, our quantities, are fixed in both years. So what do we know? We should know how to calculate the basket of goods for each year and then find the CPI. In 1993, the basket is $80. You find that by multiplying.
Que lo vamos a pasar muy bien y venir la semana que viene. Pero si tenemos los billetes comprados.
Chavo, que no nos volvemos a ver, hostia.
¿Qué estás diciendo?
¿No que oyes?
Es lo personal. ¿Conociste a alguien?
Multiplying the quantities of each good times their price and adding them up. But that's not the CPI. The CPI is the current year's basket over the base year basket times 100. In this problem, our base year is probably our first year. So our base year's year is going to be 1993, giving us a CPI of 100. Calculating our basket in 1994, you take the same quantities but now multiply them by the prices in 1994, getting a basket of $100. When you take the current basket, 100, divided by the base year basket of 80 times 100, you get a CPI of 125. So CPI is going to increase by the change between 100 to 125, right? That percent change is 25%. It is asking about the change in consumer price index, which is the percent change between 100 and 125. All right, thanks so much. See you in the next video.